You are not alone. Ladies and gentlemen, you're welcome again to another conversation of the Afro-Social Workers Forum. And my name is Vera Sompon. With me in the studio is going to be my colleague, Batemona-Abeke. And today we are having a very, very important, sensitive, and challenging conversation. But I know and I trust that you understand that our intention is to help you, is to help the community, because we know that we need one another. Today, we are talking on dealing with alcoholism in the diaspora. And you know by now, many of our people are suffering with the ailment of alcoholism. We do not want to stigmatize anyone. We want to have a conversation whereby we are going to support you, give you the necessary tips, make you know that you are not alone and we are a family together in this. Welcome with me, my colleague, Batemona-Abeke. You're welcome, ma'am.
Yes, thank you very much, Vera Sompon, for having me again this Tuesday. It's always a privilege to have this program with you, especially that we know that the program is picking up, it's being well received, and it is uplifting the souls and the lives of our people here in the diaspora and also elsewhere in the world. My name is Ellen Batemona-Abeke, social worker and trauma consultant and diversity trainerin, coming from Pamoja Africa Institute here in Cologne. And our work is to work with families, to do counseling, to do mentoring and coaching program for African people living in Germany. I'm happy to be with you this evening and to be also part of one of the people who formed Afro-Social Workers Network that is here to take care of the issues and affairs of our African people living in Germany. Thank you very much, and I send you much greetings all the way from Cologne, Germany.
Thank you, ma'am. It's also always a privilege to see you. And like usual, you always look beautiful. I will still need to know and come to visit Cologne to know the secret of that beauty. Today, we are having a very challenging conversation, and we had the background conversation. We said we understand the stigma, we understand the challenge, we understand the problematic in this conversation. But what fascinated me and what pushed us to come up with this conversation is the amount of losses we are having as a result of the misuse of the alcohol. Ma'am, tell us a little bit about this conversation dealing with alcohol and its effect in our community.
So thank you very much. First of all, I would want to start saying that this topic is not just a topic that we just picked the other day. We have been on this topic for the last almost 10 years because of the experiences that we have had in the counseling centers, the cases that are being reported to us, the many people that come to our offices seeking support on who have managed actually to come out, talk to us, maybe because themselves they have been affected or they know someone who is affected by alcoholism, or even having people in the family that are going through these struggles of dealing with alcohol consumption. I am here this evening to talk not from a perspective of someone that has been affected by alcohol, but I'm here this evening to talk as a social worker who is privileged, who has never had contact with alcohol, but has seen people suffer, has heard stories. And my talk this evening is not to say how it feels to be in this situation, but to try spread information, to share the information that I have professionally, so that we can see how this information can help one or another person in either coming out, accepting the reality and facing the issue of alcohol, and also coming out to seek help so that they can be supported to deal with this sickness that I call that is called alcoholism. So first of all, I just want to say that alcoholism is any drinking of alcohol that results in mental or physical health problems that ranges from mild, little to that the situation that can be also grievous. In medical contexts, we say that alcohol exists in two or more present conditions. And this is when a person drinks larger amounts of alcohol over a long period of time, or when someone starts experiencing problems of cutting down on alcohol intake, or when the drinking and acquiring of alcohol takes up a great deal of time, or when alcohol is always desired at all time, or when the usage of alcohol is as a result of not fulfilling other responsibilities that one has in life. Or we can also define alcoholism medically as when the usage of alcohol results in health problems, or the usage of alcohol results in risky situations, and when stopping taking an alcohol becomes an issue, then we call this is what we medically call alcoholism. And I want to say that alcoholism is not simply an habit, but it is a sickness that should be treated just like any other sickness that people may have. This is very, very important. Now, I want to go deeper in saying that if alcohol is taken in these quantities that I've said, or when it results to the things that I've just talked about, there is a problem. It has an effect in our bodies. And it can have, I'm going to mention some of the grievous effects alcohol consumption, or this a lot of alcohol consumption can have in our bodies. The first part of the body that is affected by alcoholism is the brain. So the brain is damaged and it doesn't function as it should function under normal circumstances. Then we have other problems like heart problems, we have liver problems, the pancreas, and generally the immune system of the body gets affected. In some cases, one will have mental illnesses like depression. Then we also have irregular heartbeats. This is how the heart is affected. And as I said, the immune system gets paralyzed and it gets impaired in responding in response if necessary. The liver is really, really at a big risk, and there is also increased, medically, we also learned that there is also increased cancer risk to the patients that take a lot of alcohol or that are alcoholic. So this is generally what we can say, but I want to be also a bit specific to women. When women, generally speaking, women are more sensitive to the dangers and to the effect of alcohol in their bodies. Maybe because maybe we can say because the way the women are built, that their bodies are not that muscular as most of the men, or that that their metabolism is low when it comes to dealing with alcohol. And when it comes to pregnancy, when women are pregnant and they are taking alcohol, there is a serious problem to the child to be born. So this needs to be mentioned, and I'm very sorry to start with these things because it's a little bit hard, but we are here, social workers, to talk about the risks of alcohol and to expose what alcohol does to our bodies and to our people. So we say that drinking alcohol during pregnancy can also result to some fetal alcohol spectrum disorders. Very important. So now we are asking, what is the long-term consequence of alcohol? Alcohol? Alcoholism can also result to dementia, and this is a situation that is not reversible if it gets to that stage. So we are saying that um, we are trying to expose the risks and the dangers of alcohol if one is in this stage, so that we can really take it as an ailment, as a sickness that needs serious attention. If you know someone that is suffering from this sickness, that is a sickness like any other sickness that can be arrested if we, all of us, we respond and we create awareness and we stop making it as a taboo topic that is not to be dealt with. We stop also stigmatizing those that are affected, and we receive them with love, and we offer a wonderful and good social environment. This is going to help a lot. There are two factors of that lead to alcoholism. One could be a genetic problem. That means a child inherits this or gets this from the parents. If one of the parents has been on alcohol consumption for some time, most probably, the children being born will feel also the effect or the impact of alcohol. The other cause of alcoholism is the environmental factor, which we classify as maybe pressure from family or pressure from something, trying to run away from something or to seek comfort for because of some challenges one is going in life, because it's a cultural behavior. Maybe there is locally the alcohol is brewed or is available, and so people just find them socializing and drinking. Most of the people that I've talked to, they tell me that they just started with one or two in parties or in the family or during parties. This is how it all begins. Also, we want to say also high stress levels of anxiety can also lead to alcoholism. So this is important to talk about this at the very, very beginning. And as we expose all these things, we are hoping that before we end this program, that we're going to spend more time in giving solutions. But it's very important to highlight what alcoholism is, what it does into our bodies, and what causes it. And then we come to what could be the solution and what is it that we as social workers are there to offer support. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, ma'am. Got a lot of things in your conversation. As an introduction, you mentioned the fact that it is an ailment, it is a disease like any other, and we should stop the stigmatization and we should find solutions to these challenges. And of course, you mentioned the causes of this alcoholism, and I want to put it in bracket, and that there are many things that can cause that. It could be from the environment, it could be from peer pressures of the community, the society, it could be through challenges that we're going through. You gave a lot of the causes of this of over drinking or the abuse of drug, and you gave also some of the disadvantages, what can happen if we keep drinking. And you mentioned the failing of the liver, and it can even provoke cancer. You gave a whole lot of a whole lot of points then, and I'm very glad that we have people listening to us. And before I get into my conversation with you proper, I have a lot of questions brought here, even in the conversation. I want to acknowledge some somebody who is really making me to rejoice right now, and it is Enna Wangwe. I appreciate you, ma'am. And she says that I was once addicted to alcohol before giving my life to Christ. So, and now she said, and now, and like a form of recognition that yes, it can be a problem, alcohol. And she said, and I can feel the big difference now as I have been delivered from alcoholism. I think it's a good thing. Thank you for joining the program, ma'am, and thank you for recognizing the difference that this conversation is a very important one. She says also up there, I love this topic, and so I'm very grateful, thankful to God that these conversations are also important in the community and that people are coming out to talk about it. Ma'am, that was one of the reasons that we wanted to talk about this conversation today, because someone specifically wrote to us and said, hey, we need to talk about alcoholism and its effect in our life and in the community. So my next question will be to you, ma'am. When you were talking, I just saw one person in my mind, and this man will drink, and in the morning when he gets up, the first thing is he's going to take a whiskey. Then in the afternoon, he's going to take, and not any kind of whiskey, very good whiskeys, and dry whiskeys he's going to drink, and he could drink a whole bottle of it every day. He could drink a bottle of whiskey without eating anything. That was his breakfast. I mean, that was what he was drinking all the time. And he never felt like he was drunk. And he never thought that it was a disease until he went to the hospital, had liver issues, and they said that he has to stop drinking alcohol. Do you think, what was the scenario here? Was he already an alcoholic, or he was just drinking and enjoying himself? What do you think? What was the scenario? Because he never felt like he was having a problem.
Maybe it's very important to say that even those people who have been alcoholic or who are alcoholic, at the very beginning, they don't notice this. It is a gradual process. One starts small, and then it keeps on increasing every now and then.
Mm-hmm.
And then it reaches a stage where one is not having any control anymore.
Mm-hmm.
That means the alcohol is controlling.
Mm-hmm.
And I also need to explain, like I said, I don't have this experience, but these are the testimonies that I've heard from the clients that have come to me, that it creeps in slowly and you are enjoying. And, if you are drinking for a purpose, you forget those problems that you have and you think this is a wonderful thing. So you keep on increasing. And so it becomes, you are rising and you are graduating from one level to the other. And all this time, of course, that is if it is because of any environmental factor, you see that those problems are decreasing, but then you get to a stage where you cannot come out anymore on your own. That is the danger of alcoholism. And that's when we start now, that's why I defined at the very beginning how one gets there slowly. And if it gets there, then you really need a professional support to get out of it. Rarely does someone manage to come alone out of alcoholism. That is why I think it's very important that we talk about this, because maybe there's somebody listening to us this evening. Maybe there's someone who knows somebody who is in such a situation and will just, with this information, grab somebody and say, let's go and get professional help so that the person can be guided to get there. It's not a simple journey, but if someone manages to gather him or himself, there is hope. This is the lesson for this evening. So this man or woman who was just enjoying himself, he reached a stage where he could not control it, and we can only call this alcoholism. And this is a sickness that means healing.
Thank you so very much, ma'am. And we have some comments also here that I would like us to look and to acknowledge the people who are here. We have Sharon Dasi who say hi, ladies. Thank you, Sharon Dasi, for joining the program. Share the link with friends because I know that in our environment usually we have some people who could be affected. Thank you very much. And we have also Mary De Caro, who says bad influence, being in a wrong company can also influence us from taking to becoming alcoholics. And thank you, ma'am, for being here. And we have also Sharon Dasi says at times one can get used to alcohol so much so that they don't realize that they have alcohol problem. And this is what you were just saying, ma'am, that when they get to that point, then one can start naming this as being already a problem a problem and a challenge. And Ibrahim Barria, thank you for being here today. And Ibrahim Barria says, if the alcohol becomes your boss, then you are an alcoholic. My question to you, ma'am, take note of this question. We're going to come back to it. When does alcohol become your boss? You have mentioned some points before, but we'll get back again to this question. And we have also Wambi Rose. Hey, ma'am, Wambi Rose, you're welcome, always present. Thank you. God bless you. And she said, when alcohol becomes medicine, it becomes a necessity. I don't know if I got what she means exactly, but we'll get again to this conversation. Wambi Rose, keep your comments coming and share the link and expand on that comment. I know that this is my teacher and she talks always of re-education. Hey, today we are re-educating ourselves and I'm glad that you are here, Wambi Rose. God bless you. Ma'am, let's come back to the conversation today. Now that we are talking about alcoholism, we know that it can cause depression. And Ibrahim Barria says that when it becomes your boss, then you are an alcoholic. And we're talking not because we want to stigmatize the people. We are talking because we want to break the silence in this in our culture, and we want to give solutions and help the people know that they are not alone. You check the statistics. How many hundreds, thousands of people are suffering from this, ma'am?
So the latest that we have from around 2016, 2017 was like, if I'm not wrong, about 380 million people worldwide.
That's a great deal of
Um,
people.
yes, and alarming point is this is like 5.1% of the population of the people who are over 15 years. We're not talking over 18 or 20. We're talking over
Mm-hmm.
15 because there's a lot of alcohol consumption and alcoholism with for
Young people.
teenagers from 15 years. And
Mm-hmm.
this is 2016, so we are now millennium. We are talking of about 4 years later. These figures are almost doubling now. So there is an alarming case of alcoholism outside there, and we are talking of a sickness. It's an ailment. So we are having a lot of people, a lot of sick people out there, and alcoholica is not the people that we see. We have some prejudices, and we have some.
Mm.
We have. I would really want to talk about this. We have a picture of the people we see on the street sleeping,
Mm-hmm.
on the street drunk, or walking with a bottle on the
Mm-hmm.
street, or struggling and singing. This is not even the 1% of people who are having this sickness called
Mm-hmm.
alcoholism. We having professors, we having doctors, we having husbands, we having wives, we having social workers, we are having pastors pastoring churches in the office at the moment. We are having presidents, we are having ministers, senior politicians, we are having students, we are having children as young as the age of 10, 12, 11 that
Mm-hmm.
are on this. So we have to change our picture of
Mm-hmm.
what we associate with alcoholism.
Mm-hmm.
That the alcoholic are those ones we see on the street.
I
This is
have to
not
come. I have to join here now. Something is really striking me now, ma'am. Before you continue, We have all these amazing people. These are wonderful people. And we can't heal anybody, or I can't heal myself from any form of addiction without knowing the root cause. Now, you mentioned before that peer pressure and the community pressure. Are those problems enough? Are they really the causes of being an alcoholic? Or is there something more that comes from
There's
the
more.
mind and all that?
Yes, there is more. That's why I talked of genetic problem. I talked of two factors. I talked of the environmental factors, which we can talk of the social aspect. This is the family life, the way people are living, the pressures, the culture, what else can I put under environmental? Anything that is man-made, and or maybe the culture. Maybe alcohol is also easily available. Maybe someone is idle. Maybe someone is getting also a lot of pressure from place of work. So you try to hide under something, or you are enjoying. That's why I'm talking social factors. This I all we put all these under environmental factors. The pressure, the frustration. And when we come back to our diaspora, and just to break it down, the frustrations that we are experiencing here in Europe, you come here having some hopes. You are maybe useful in the society. You are working. You are a working class. You earn your own business. You earn your family. You earn your car. You earn your children were well in schools back home. And you come here in this country, and this country reduces you into nothing. The issue of racism is also part of it. So people are fleeing these problems, maybe an abusive marriage, domestic violence, living without papers, without perspective, living in denial. All these things could also put someone into alcoholism. Then we have the other part that I want people listening to me this evening to mind it. Also, peer pressure, and peer pressure, having a company, and then a company that is valuing drinking, socializing, and keeping yourself busy with the alcohol, starting with small. Don't know that doesn't have to be much. All these things can lead someone to go into alcoholism. Now, the genetic factor is something that we don't need to ignore. If one parent, I repeat it, if one parent had issues of alcoholism, most probably 4 or 5 times more the children born from this family, from this relationship, may have alcohol problems. This is why I say the problem is so deep rooted. I have seen children come to our counseling center. Children are born and they have to be detoxificated because they are already born high. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Because and mind you, we are only talking of alcohol now. We are not even talking about the hard drugs.
Yes. No, we are staying today on alcohol.
Remain on alcohol. So mostly people on alcohol, they taste those other stuff as well. So we're having babies born, and it is already programmed that within some months, if these children when they grow, they will need to be detoxificated because their blood system is composed of alcohol. So these children are born already drunk. This is the danger. So there are so many things that we have to consider. That's why we need to talk about this. We need to make this a topic in the community so that when you're getting embottled, you'll be thinking twice what that means to you and your generation to come.
This is a
In fact,
serious thing.
it's a serious matter. So let's not stop this topic with this one woman or this one man or this one young man drinking.
Mm-hmm.
Let's think some years to come, what
Yes.
bottles will mean to the generation to follow. It's a
I have
serious.
another question, ma'am. I have a question. Our time is always so fast going, and I'm always check. I have to check time all the almost have to be checking the time. But before I come to the time, I acknowledge you, Marie De Caro, who says when someone starts running away from reality, they may go to drink as drinking. I still have to come to this because, and Wambi Rose, thank you very much. She expatiated again and said, I meant that if people start drinking because they have a problem, stress, depression, then they start needing it for everything. And because problematic drinking causes problems, it causes a vicious circle. One drinks because they are in trouble. Then the trouble magnifies, so they drink again, and the circle continues. Ma'am, help me, please, as a social worker, help me. When we have a problem, what motivates the young person rather than talking about this problem to a therapist, to a trauma therapist, or to a social worker? Why do they choose to go to take the drink? Is there a kind of spiritual connection with that drink? Is there a language that is calling the person? Why that drink? How did we come about that?
So it's very important to say that taking in the society, we remain in Europe, in Germany, right?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Society we are finding ourselves in. To have access to alcohol is very easy. There's easy
Mm-hmm.
accessibility of alcohol,
Mm-hmm.
and because I always say the village is lacking, so people
Mm-hmm.
tend to try to look for friends to get somewhere. You sit down and you try to
Mm-hmm.
keep busy with something. Out
Mm-hmm.
of It's a good idea, but if then these people are having many problems,
Mm-hmm.
they want to for a moment forget these problems, then
Mm.
this is they start opening one after the other. And within a very short time, and we said nobody becomes alcoholic overnight. It's a
Mm-hmm.
grand process.
Mm-hmm.
And it creeps and it becomes the only something one is seeing to solve his or her own problem.
Mm-hmm.
So those drinking sprees are also those drinking sprees are actually very dangerous, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And when one is really getting used to this, the mental
Mm-hmm.
problems are also and developing, and
Mm-hmm.
with growing becomes a big problems. And
Mm-hmm.
with growing, we need a longer time. So most of the people, even who want to withdraw, then give up in the process and they start. As Wamboy Rose and Mary Ndikalo are saying, it becomes a roundabout. So
Mm-hmm. A
you
visual circle. You
it's
keep
a
turning.
you keep turning. You want to come out, but you can't. You have so many problems. You get alcohol to finish, so you keep increasing. Your problems start increasing. It's really a serious problem that needs spiritual attendance, I must say, and needs a lot of social and a lot of support from the community
Mm-hmm.
for this to be taken care of. So it's we saying that alcohol will cause mental illness and also physical illness. So it's not that people are just they are fit here mentally. Physically, alcohol is also very destructive,
Mm.
and people are worn out because it's a sickness. They are suffering inside, and we
Mm-hmm.
need to lay a lot of emphasis on the stigma, because
Mm-hmm.
if leave that one is an alcoholic, this one is addicted, this one drinks like water. Those slogans need to be stopped. We just
Mm-hmm.
see these people, they are needing help. These are people who are really sick, and we need to recollect to pick them. We need to
Mm-hmm.
have a up. We need to lift them up from where they are. We need to go to them, that place where they are, and
So
pick
we are
them.
coming to the solutions. You are already entering into the solutions. I want to still stay again. My mind is always bringing me back to the root. And thank you very much, Wambi Rose. She's giving us amazing stories here. Teresa Geoffrey, thank you very much. And Teresa Geoffrey also says that the unfortunate thing is that we Africans do not acknowledge that people are depressed and that having a problem, that it's a problem, and therefore they go to drinking, and again they don't acknowledge the fact that drinking too is a problem. So the first challenge is that we deny that drinking is a problem. You were talking, ma'am, and I recalled one of my brothers-in-law who told me, you can't swim your problems into drinking. I don't know if it makes sense, but he usually said this in French. I just tried to translate that. And he said, in as much as you drink, those problems will not disappear by drinking. And that's where I want to come now for solutions. How do we help our people become the village to our people, give them the support that they need, give them the space to heal, and know that they are not alone? Remember, the statistics tells us hundreds of people are going through the same challenge, but our concern is with our people, and that we want them to understand that we know that they're going through pains. We want to be there for them. We want to support them. Now, how do we specifically support them?
So I really want to say that there are many people that that are involved in preventing or supporting people. So the first thing we can say is, if the sale of alcohol can be limited, it's now they say from the age of 16 you can't buy alcohol. I think they should even go down, because the statistics are showing us that that the alcohol is not only for up from 16 years. We talked of 15 years. So I feel that they should even go lower. They should even increase this, because it's so easily available in this country. It's so affordable because it's cheap. Everyone can afford to buy alcohol. I was talking to a student yesterday when I was preparing this, and she told me that, especially now in Corona times, everyone is at home. We are locked down. We don't have any activity, no sports facility. People are not used to being creative, because we have been rotating in life.
Yeah.
Now we are at a standstill. We are at a lockdown. So people don't know what to do with their time. So it's easy to just go and get bottle. So now this year, 2020, the effect of lockdown is going to be felt next year. From
Yeah.
next year, we're going to see this, because 2020 has been an on and off lockdown most of the year. So
Yes.
we pray that this message gets to people on time, because there's still hope. So this is the problem. So if now alcoholism needs to be prevented, the minors should not be having access to it. The prices and the taxing of the alcohol should increase. There has to be provision of education in schools, in everywhere, in church, on Facebook, on program, on TV, the way we are talking. It's not enough to write on the bottle that alcohol is dangerous for your health. We need to
Yes.
have programs that are talking. At every party, we need to talk about party. Parents need to be aware and stop having, a storage of alcohol in their house, because what the children keep seeing is what they use. So it's really, so education, provision of education is very, very important. And then if the people are already there, they have become affected, they are really alcoholic, then medical support, social support, they need to go to experts. We have the addiction centers, where people are trained how to come out of, they are sent on rehabilitation. We have organizations like self-help groups from Alcoholics Anonymous. We have a lot of self-help groups that are helping. People can go to their doctors, talk about them. We have a lot of counseling centers that are specializing with detoxification and counseling people. We need to mentor people. We need to hold people by hand and tell them there is a way. Creating awareness of what alcoholism is and what damages it causes in our bodies, in our society, in our generations to come. We need to talk about these things. So this creation of awareness, it's very, very important. The social workers to take it also as their responsibility. We shouldn't wait for people to come to our offices. We need to go to the people. Just
Street
as
work.
people, yes, just as we go street work when it comes to prostitution, we need to
Exactly.
go to street work. We need to, as we are talking about corona on the street, we need to go out with this topic and openly talk to young ones. We need to go to schools, to classrooms, and talk about this alcoholism. So creation of awareness everywhere is something that I would recommend. Thank you.
Thank you very much, ma'am. I'm just taking notes down some of the points and to recap what you said. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. All you who are here, you are so wonderfully made, and we really love you. We thank you for encouraging us. And please, we want to encourage you to share the link with a brother, with a friend, with a sister, with anyone, because we are doing awareness. This is awareness that we are creating, and we are starting up now with this conversation because we know that it is a challenge in our community. We do not want to have our people feel stigmatized. We rather prefer to talk with our people, help our people, do what we call preventive, and that's part of prevention. Awareness, creating awareness is part of prevention. And of course, those who are already in it, we want to have a safe space for you, ma'am. Some years back, the organization Sompon Social Service, where I managed, we had self-help groups, and I think that this is also an opportunity for our community, because many people in the community do not also know that this is a very important area, the self-help groups, and I think that that is where we can also add value, help the people to start up self-help group in their different communities, and we can also cover them up, support them. And the good thing with self-help groups is that the insurance also usually give them the necessary support that they need to be able to do so. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, if you're here and you think you want to start up a self-help group for alcoholics, we will support you in that so that we can be able to create that awareness, support our own, and be able to move forward in the community. Thank you very much, ma'am. We still have some words also from Mary Enna says, and how can the social worker get the government aware of this killing addiction and get rid of it?
We need to create awareness. We need to bring this topic more often on different social media platforms because this is what is reaching many people. We need to, the migrants organizations need to make this a topic. We need to create evenings where we give information about alcoholism and the solution, not only to talk about it, not to stigmatize, but to provide solution, that there is a way out of it. We need to have caravans. We need to be having stands on the street talking about it. We have Germans doing most of these things, but if we need to reach our people, we need to come out with our own methods. We have to come out with our own programs as we are doing now. This is the only way we are able to reach most of the Africans. We talk about it. Remember, our motto is our people, our problem, our own solutions. So every time we need to start thinking about all these things. And If people out there hear these things, and we are offering solution, we are accepting them the way they are. We need churches also preach. The pastors are not condemning them or sending them to hell, but accepting them and saying we are a clinic. A church should be a clinic for even these alcoholics. We have groups. We have different groups in churches to take care of these matters. I think we'll be doing the primary duty of a church and the primary duty of social workers. We need to go in our different cities and consult the lawmakers and make them know of the problem in our society so that projects can be sponsored. We apply for funding to have projects that are taking care of such needs. Mark you, we say that there are reasons why people are going into alcoholism. So we need to find some lasting solutions to all these frustrations that are making people end up frustrated and seeking comfort or seeking help in these substances, like drinking. Thank you.
Now I'm going to hit again on that. We just have some few minutes more. You said lasting solutions, and of course, like social workers, we like to find the Nachhaltigkeit. What do you mean by lasting solution, and how can we get that?
Yes, I'm talking of sustainable methods.
Yeah.
Sustainable is sustainability. If let me give an example. If someone is drinking because of domestic violence in the family, then we have to address this. We as social workers or other key prayers, we have to find a solution to domestic violence in the community. We need to re-educate our people. We need to give also solutions to the battered men and battered women. We need to offer solutions or offers. What can children who are children from families where there is violence, what help do they need? We break down these things. We don't generalize, but we look at cases as they are, and we try to find out some sustainable methods that can make people come out of this. Domestic person, the violent partner could be going through some issues. So if we look at all this, like we've been talking a lot about men, we've been talking a lot about parenting problems. This also can make parents go into alcoholism. Frustrated men, boy child, could also go into alcoholism as a result of this pressure from the society. So people have given up. They don't have hope. They say nothing will happen to me in this country. So they have nothing to lose. So they can swallow, they can drink the whole night. We know in Cologne we have some bars, we have some brothers and sisters that are really in a terrible mess. But here we are tonight to say there is hope. Gather courage, speak to someone, find your way to us, to social workers, and we are going to speak to somebody, and we are going to find a solution to this problem. We are so connected in the whole country. We have a network. So these are the lasting solutions I'm talking about. If it is work that is someone is missing and making them go to drink, you can start checking is there any small formation training that one can go through so that we can slowly mentor them, coach them, and then we'll be finishing one problem at a time. And without knowing, we are going to get our people. And if need be, if the problem is that serious, we can also have people admitted at rehabilitation centers. We have some special clinics that are taking care of people who are already addicted with alcoholism. And sometimes it has to be medically also controlled. Yeah. So it has to be substituted with something. So
Thank you.
it's very wonderful to check what help is working for each person. Thank you.
Again, if I listen to you very well, you are talking about a holistic approach. of solving this problem. So we go right into the root of the matter. If someone is having a problem with violence, then we solve the violence problem, and then certainly the addiction of alcohol will be taken away from that person. Then we have to also look at it on the spiritual level, but getting knowing that the church is a clinic place, and so the pastors too should be able to work hand in hand with that. You also mentioned the fact that we need, of course, the migrant organizations to work hand in hand, talk about these problems, because usually in most migrant organizations, we talk about culture, we talk about food, we talk about everything, but we do not talk about the real things that really affect us in our community. And today we see that the people who really know the causes of this problem, if we have to solve the problem, then we have to go right down into the root. And this is not the end of it. We also said there are possibilities like self-help groups, and we are also ready to support the community to create self-help groups. And of course, if anyone is willing to start up a self-help group, hey, get in touch with us, and we're going to coordinate that for you and for us, so that our community get the support, the healing that they need. Ma'am, any last word for the people? Remember, the conversation is not yet ended. We're going to have this conversation often and often again, because we are not stigmatizing the people. We want the people to know we have their consent at heart. We love them so much. We are there for them. We care for them. And so, if this video is going anywhere it is going, that the person listening to this video knows that we are telling them that they are more than enough, and that we love them the way they are, and that they are not alone. Ma'am, any last word to support them, encourage anyone going through this challenge?
Yes, I would want to call it's a wake up call to our people that when we social workers bring these topics, we are not exposing your secrets. And we are feeling sorry, and we want to do something. We want to help you come out of this situation. We know that nobody would want to just go into alcoholism. Nobody would want to get a sickness extra. So
Mhm,
this is why we want to tell you when we come to speak to you, because we have changed the strategy now. We will not sit in offices to wait for you. We are going to go out on the street. We are going to do out street work. We'll come to those drinking sprees. We'll come
mhm,
to parties. And when we give this recommendation, please take us serious, because we are caring. We
mhm,
are caring for you. We want to uplift our society in this country, because
mhm,
we have already discovered that the danger, I mean, the problem is not on ending with this our generation. When it
mhm,
comes to alcoholism, it's going to spread and to be given over without wanting. So
mhm,
receive us, and we are going to together collectively look for a solution, and we are going
mhm,
to mentor you. We are going to carry you along. We are going to provide for, we are going to have lifting up
mhm,
programs, so that you can feel secure in our hands. We will not
mhm,
tell you leave alcohol and just leave you naked like this. No,
mhm,
we are going to substitute it with something else. If it
mhm,
is idleness, we will keep you busy. We will
mhm,
find ways of keeping you busy.
mhm,
If it is domestic violence, we are going to find solutions to this.
mhm,
We will not tell you to break your relationship, but we will find out the root cause of this domestic violence, and
mhm,
each and everyone is going to get a fair treatment. It
mhm,
is time, my people, we need to stand up as a society and fight this virus that is worse than coronavirus, and the
mhm,
virus of alcoholism. We have said it is a sickness, and we don't stigmatize it. We don't discriminate those that are affected already,
mhm,
because maybe inside their hearts they want to
mhm,
come out of it, but they don't know how to do it on their own, and it is
mhm,
something very difficult. The
mhm,
pastors, let's have you in these programs. Let's join hands. Let our opinion leaders look for solutions to this
mhm,
thing that is creeping our society. Thank you very
mhm.
much.
Mhm. Thank you very much, ma'am. I mean, it's always a nice thing to be with you, to talk with you. Liz, thank you for joining today. And Liz, say acceptance and non-shaming is also a great step for those in it. Let's learn to love and support without judgment. Thank you, ladies, for the conversation. I don't know, Liz, if you just read my mind now, I was about to just say that, hey, we are here to support you, and believe us that we want to help you. We know, and we have not experienced alcoholism maybe, but we know from our profession the challenge, the pains, the sufferings that you are all going through, we are going through, even as migrants coming into this country. If there's anything we can say is that open up a little to us, and we're going to give you the support that you need. Remember, we are bound under the oath of our profession. So that's why you can take us to court if you know that you've given us a secret and you can prove that we have exposed your secret to anybody. So that's why I say we are not just social workers, we are mentors, we are coaches, and we are there to help the community. And be sure you can take us to court if you think that we have misused your information, right? So this is again for you to hold us responsible. We want you to hold us responsible because we are professionals and we are doing the work, and it is voluntarily. We are doing that out of our spare time to support you. And know this, we love you because you are so precious and you deserve our love. Thank you very much, ma'am. Any last word?
Yes, maybe something concrete for those that are around Cologne or Stuttgart, Esslingen area. We are having a self-help group. We are talking of alcoholism, but we combine it with depression because
Mhm.
alcoholism sometimes leads to depression. Depression sometimes links also to alcoholism. We are having these groups. Get in touch with us. Our contact is already on display on Facebook, either Sompon Social Workers or also Pamoja Africa. And write to us. Just drop a message, and we are going to get in touch with you, and we are going to involve you, and we'll find a solution to this problem. Don't shy. Come out. It's never too late to get help. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. And ladies and gentlemen, we've come again to the end of our conversation. And be sure you have our back. You are not alone. And we love you because you deserve our love. Take care of yourself. And of course, God bless you. Man, hope to see you some other time again. And God bless you. Thank you. It's always nice talking with you. Have a nice
Thank
evening,
you.
you too. Bye
Thank you.
bye.
Bye.